The Foyles Storybox Podcast.
This edition was recorded in the Children's Department of Foyles flagship store.
So you may hear people browsing the books in the background.
Enjoy the podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome along to the third and final episode of the Storybox Podcast.
My name is Tess.
And I'm Felix.
This week we're taking over from Callum and Jasmine. Thanks guys.
We'll be bringing you news, reports and interviews from the Children's Book Festival.
This episode is jam-packed,
so we better get on with it.
Last week, we sent our best reporters to interview author David Solomons to find out about his gym teacher and his alien habits.
And also to find out about his working habits.
David introduced his new title, My Gym Teacher is an Alien Overlord.
Talking all about the creative writing process.
And making people giggle all the way through.
Here's what we discovered.
Hello, my name is Haida and I'm 10 years old.
Hello, my name is Ali Mehdi and I'm 12 years old.
Here is an author of two very famous books for children, David Solomons.
Hello, my name is David Solomons. I'm a lot more than 10 years old.
Do you prefer writing films or writing books?
They're very different experiences. I think at the moment I'm very much enjoying writing books. Yes.
Do you ever work with other people?
Surprisingly, well, most people find this surprising. The only other person I work with is my wife. And that means that we sit together, side by side, in front of our computer, and we bicker all day long about choosing the right word and what happens in the next scene. And then we go and make dinner.
Who is your favourite superhero?
I would say Superman. Superman is the archetypal superhero and my favourite. I've also got a soft spot for Spider-Man too.
Can you tell us a bit about your book, My Gym Teacher's an Overload?
Yes, My Gym Teacher is an Alien Overlord is the sequel to My Brother is a Superhero, and it picks up pretty much where the first one left off. And Luke Parker is still embittered about not having superpowers, and he's desperate for another adventure. And he kind of gets it wrong to start with. He's looking for villains where they don't exist, but then he uncovers a terrible plot by alien invaders to not exactly just take over the Earth, but they want to take over the Earth and film it for a reality TV show. That's their entire motivation, and it's about how Luke and the gang thwart the aliens.
What is an overload?
An overload or an overlord?
Overlord.
An overlord. Good question. I haven't had that before. In this story, the overlord is kind of the one in charge. There are aliens. There are executive aliens. There are co-overlords, and then there's the supreme overlord, and so it's kind of like a ranking system, and the alien overlord is the one in charge.
Are you an overlord?
My wife is kind of the supreme overlord. I am merely a drone in the household.
Can you describe your weirdest teacher at school?
Well, can I? My biology teacher had a brain in a jar and drove a Vauxhall Cavalier. That was quite weird.
Are you a superhero?
Well, let's think about that. If I was, would I tell you? I mean, clearly not. Not unless, I think, does Iron Man's public, isn't he? Although I gather that Iron Man then used some kind of mind powers to blank to change everybody's memory because he wanted to be secret again after a while. So, see, I'm trying to fudge this so that I'm distracting you so you don't realise the truth. See, I haven't answered the question.
I don't think you are.
If you weren't a superhero, what type of superpower would you have?
I would like the superpower. I would like to be able to know that what I'm writing is any good. That would be my superpower of choice. That and flight. Yeah, there you go. So I'd be able to fly and edit at the same time. That'd be great.
Thank you very much for the interview.
I hope you enjoyed it.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, that was fantastic.
Thanks, David Solomons.
You're listening to the Storybox Podcast, and this is Mrs. Phelps of Matilda The Musical playing at Cambridge Theatre. Enjoy and read a book.
Felix and I couldn't host this third and final episode of the Storybox Podcast without attending at least one of the Storybox events at the festival.
That's right, we teamed up with Wordplay Zoe and Leon to write
and star in
our very own live radio dramas.
We scripted our plays and teams, then popped into the recording studio to broadcast live to the Foyles Cafe
and the rest of the world. Let's have a listen to our favourite parts of the plays that were broadcast that day.
So first of all, take a listen to our favourite sound effects.
They smash through and start drowning. Glug, glug.
That was the ice smashing in Pepsi Mad Bears.
And was written and performed live by Ty, Eddie and Zach.
Tess, can you press play on our favourite character?
What's going on here? How do you know?
That was Angus playing the policeman.
Performing in the roller skates robbery.
And finally, our pick of the plays for best storyline
Goes to...
Drum roll, please.
The Foyles Storybox Podcast.
The Mysterious Incident of the Dog and the Cake by Gracie, Jasmine, May and Callum.
Take a listen to this bad boy.
The Mysterious Incident of the Dog and the Cake.
There once was a dog called Bobbert. He loved cake a lot. One day he was visiting an abbey and he saw a lady with a cake. He fell in love instantly.
Hello, Cakey. You look nice today.
Thank you, Barbara. This lady's gonna eat me. I'll save you later, honey. Thanks, Barbara.
Come on, Cake. You're going to get digested.
The lady went home with Cakey and Bobbert followed them.
Wow, I never knew how excited I could be for eating a scrumptious cake. I hope you'll enjoy dying for eating my fiancé, Missy.
They reached the lady's mansion.
Hello, how can I help you?
Get out of my way.
Sorry, that can't be agreed.
Karate chop! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Bobbert beat the maid to the ground. He ran to the kitchen but saw a plate with cake crumbs lying on it.
Cakey, no! I didn't eat him, he just disappeared.
Dun, dun, dun!
The end.
Thanks for listening to our play. Narrator, Jasmine.
Barbara, Callum. Cakey, Callum. The lady, Gracia.
Maid, May. Sound effects, May.
The Foyles Storybox Podcast.
We're hoping that you listened to our previous episodes of the Storybox Podcast.
But if you weren't lucky enough to catch them, here's your chance.
Head over quickly to foyles.co.uk/Storybox and click on the podcast button.
Find us on SoundCloud.
Or search for us on YouTube.
In episode 1, you can catch up with illustrator Dave Barrow.
Play hide and seek with Maggie and Hamish. Draw some fantastic bugs with Val Sommer.
And hear from Matilda's librarian.
And read a book.
Episode 2 with Jasmine and Callum brought us a wonderful phone call with writer and illustrator Vivian Schwartz.
Our very own head of promotions, Marion, takes us on a tour of our very humongous store.
And illustrator Lee Hodgkinson and her gang tell us about printmaking and finding just the right place to read.
You're listening to the Storybox Podcast.
The third and final episode.
This week is hosted by me, Tess.
And me, Felix.
Sadly, this is nearly the end of the Storybox Podcast.
But we have time for just one more thingy.
We have a special guest with us in the studio right now.
Yep, we're joined by Meg, who is
Actually, Meg, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Meg Brown and I'm the National Events Co-ordinator here at Foyles. What that means is I get to do really, really fun things like put on lots of kids' events, and I'm working on the Storybox Festival at the moment, so that's really fun.
We just want to find out your favourite moments throughout the festival.
And to find out how good your spelling is.
Uh-oh.
The Foyles Storybox Podcast.
Let's start with the easy stuff. What has been your role in the Storybox Festival?
So my role has been to put it all together. I've had a really great team working with me, so I've had lots of help. I put the programme together, worked with authors and publishers to kind of collate it all. And then in terms of the last couple of weeks, I've just been running it all. Some people have been helping me run it, and sometimes I've been running the events. It's been loads and loads of fun, but also really crazy. So it all finishes on Sunday and I'm going to have a big sleep at the end.
What has been your highlight of the 3 weeks?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's been loads and loads of highlights. All the events have been so much fun. But probably the very first event I did, which was on the Saturday, was the Matilda The Musical reading. And that's probably just because it was really fun, but also it was the first one. So it all just started so well, and it was really cool to kick off with some Roald Dahl stuff. And we had a really nice crowd and lots of nice kids there. So that was a really fun one to start with. That's one highlight. I have others.
The Storybox Podcast has been hosted in London flagship store. You've been around the country visiting the different Foyles shop. Can you tell everyone a little bit about the events in Birmingham and Bristol?
Yeah, of course. So we have, as well as all our stores in London, we also have shops in Birmingham and Bristol where we do lots of fun events, especially really cool kids stuff. So in Birmingham, we've had things like Birmingham City Trails. We've had an animal show and tell, which was actually another big highlight of mine because I got to cuddle a chinchilla for an hour, so that was fun. We've had lots of illustration workshops with Steve Smallman. Bristol, we've had lots of crafty things. We've done a Roald Dahl invention room, Roald Dahl writers corner, which we called a Roald Dahl scribblers corner. We've also had in Bristol lots more illustration workshops, story times, lots of fun things.
What will you do now the festival is over?
Well, I will have a big sleep. That's what I'm going to do first. And then I'll go back to my normal kind of programming. So normally I program events for the London shops and Birmingham and Bristol. Also, we have a new shop opening in October/September. So I'll be working on that next. So doing a big opening festival for that.
Now the tricky questions. What's the longest word you can spell? Spell it.
Oh my God, I don't know. That's so hard. Shall I try supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Oh my gosh, I don't think I've done this in a few years. Okay, are you going to buzz me out if I get it wrong? supercalifragilistic. I can't do anymore. I think that's it. Was that minus point?
It was close.
It was close, okay.
What's your favourite book to read?
Ooh, I have lots of favourite books. One of my favourite ever is Oscar Wilde's book called Picture of Dorian Gray, which is probably the only book I've read over and over and over. It's actually really small, it's like really, really thin. But I tend to not really reread books, and that one I have read loads and loads, so that's probably a good sign of one of my favourites.
Where is your favourite place to read?
Probably in bed. Just like at the end of the day, turn the computer off, turn the TV off, just relax. That's when I really like to read.
Have you ever written a story?
Yeah, but not for a long time. I used to write a lot when I was younger, all the way through school. I have like notebooks and notebooks filled with stories and also like poems and little songs and things, but not for a long, long time. So I'd like to do that again if I have some more time.
What's the first thing that pops into your head when I say fizz whizzing?
Roald Dahl.
What's the first thing that pops into your head when I say scrumdiddly-dumptious?
Chocolate.
What's the first thing that pops into your head when I say snozwanger?
Something gross. Like snot?
Like snoozing.
Snoozing. I think it sounds like a sneeze.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. I probably went for the gross one.
Thanks, Meg.
Thank you.
The Foyles Storybox Podcast.
Big thanks to Meg and her superb festival organisational skills.
I think we can all agree that the Storybox Festival
And podcast.
has been a huge success.
That's about it from us.
And from the festival,
This has been the Storybox Podcast episode number 3, hosted by me, Felix.
and me, Tess.
Thank you to everyone who has appeared in our podcast.
It has been great fun.
And we can't wait for their next year's festival.
Don't forget to check out all 3 episodes on SoundCloud.
And keep an ear out for the 2017 festival.
Goodbye.
The Foyles Storybox Podcast.